Hi there, this is Jim the Keys bartender.
You're the Jim the Gar?
The Keys bartender.
I'm the garbage
I know.
tender.
I drank my first beer and that was it. But it was funny. I had all these things written for the show and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then you, right, like 30 seconds before I'm going to sign on, you go, there he was, Mr. Drunky Pants.
Mr. Drunky Pants.
Mr. Drunky Pants. That's great.
Mr. Drunky Pants. Well, that's what it...
No, that's the title of the show.
Tyler's key
well, that's,
when he
comes
home, he's Mr. Drunky Pants.
I've never had anybody just call me Mr. Drunky Pants because usually other things happen when I'm doing that, and they just aren't happy with, and it's not a congenial thing to call me. You know, it's like, oh, you fucking drunk asshole.
There's no drunken pleasantries exchanged.
Yeah.
No, I've been called a drunk asshole.
No, to go and say, you ignorant motherfucker, man. You're such a dick. You know, and then stuff like that. Not the congenial Mr. Drunky Pants.
Well, he was
God.
He was a sweet.
That actually sounds like someone you really want. Hey, where are you going? I'm going to hang out with Mr. Drunky Pants.
Yeah. He's a happy drunk.
He's a happy drunk. Everyone's happy to see him.
Yes.
So that is great. And and Jenna had hardest weekend I heard in my life. Well, I mean, I've done that with partying.
It's just that, you
didn't get a lot of sleep.
I didn't get a lot of sleep. I was up all night talking with my mom on the phone.
Yeah.
But then...
don't talk anything personal. You don't want to get out there.
No, we were just up all night long. She taught me a new limerick. Yeah. I'm supposed to tell it to you. I have to try to remember.
My dad gave me one, too. I got to read it.
Actually, no, it's not a limerick. It's a toast.
Yeah.
And that's why she told me I'm supposed to tell it to you, but I'm going to have to practice it
an Irish
in
one?
my head. It's a very horrible toast, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I have to, write it down, and then I'll be able to do it.
What was that one? Did we do the joke about the dog?
The dog?
The Catholic priest?
I don't think so.
Did I do that on the air with you? If I didn't do it with you or Joe, this old guy goes to the church, and he goes to the priest and says, listen, my best friend, my dog died. I want to have a mass for my dog. And the priest goes, oh man, I know you love that dog and all that stuff, but I can't do it. I can't do it in church. And the guy says, I want to have a funeral for my dog. And he goes, why don't you go down the street to the Methodist? Maybe they'll do it for you. And the old man goes, so Father, you think if I give him $5,000, he'll do the funeral for me? And the priest goes, oh son, why didn't you tell me the dog was a Catholic?
That's awesome.
I know I'm pissing off some of my Catholic friends out there, but it's a funny joke. And the other one was my dad tells me these jokes. I love my dad. So what's the one? This guy comes home and the wife goes to him. You wouldn't believe what your son called me today. I don't know where he learned this from, but he goes, he called me a bitch. And the father goes, where is that son of a bitch? That's it.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. What's the limit? You don't know the limerick?
It's actually not a limerick. It's a toast. And I figured... Well, Mom figured that we should say it on the air because this is Keys Bartender, so it's a bartending type of toast.
Maybe save it for the end of the show.
Absolutely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type it out and email it to myself so I can read it because
wait till the break and then look for it when you're going to do the sign off with the toast.
I think
and we'll do it
that you probably have a bunch of really cool toasts too. You know, like fuck you, here's to you, whatever those toasts. You know.
Oh, there's a guy, right? Jack Mulholland. We used to have a really good toast. Jack Mulholland is a horse's ass. He is the meanest. He sucks the horse's penis. Jack Mulholland is a horse's ass. And we drink. Jack Mulholland wasn't a horse's ass. He was a funny guy. I don't know why they call him a horse's ass. But it could have been very well been Jim Moran. But they didn't do that one. So, okay, we moved on from Mr. Drunky Pants. We talked about the memes. We talked about the lady with the cat meme. So it's all about memes. I wonder where that caught on, I love that. What a meme is, you know? And then people are trying to adapt to it. Older people use it, and then they overuse it. It's just that blew out of nowhere. The screaming woman from Desperate. Not Desperate, from some Real Housewives show.
Yeah, that's what you said.
One in Real Housewives show, and then a cat from another thing, and they put them together, and I mean, that's the biggest one I've seen.
I know, but I saw one today that had
It's like
the same
it was
cat.
like, why did that work that way? Why did it work there?
So
there's other ones that do it, like Trump walking up with the toilet paper on his shoe, or or what? Anything.
Oh,
a dog doing something. A dog, chasing their own ass, or a kitty. There's like a million kitty ones.
Yeah, but this
Like the guy with the
white
pokes a
cat
little
one
kitty, and the
is
hands come out, the paws come out. You
freaking
ever see that one?
hilarious.
It's like tapping his tummy and the paws.
Yeah, and then
Oh, they just dun dun dun. That one.
Yeah.
Where they play that constant music.
Yeah.
And they'll shock an animal and it's dun dun.
No,
dun.
this one is real cute. It's just a little.
kitty.
It's a kitten. It's laying on its back, and the eyes open up and the mouth open up, and not in a scared way. Kind of like, I don't know, but you figure that there's a million of them. People always looking at their cats, but they got this one. The one that is for some reason is caught on more than any is just a shot of a woman who kind of looks like Kate Hudson, angry Kate Hudson, screaming over somebody, pointing, and a cat in front of a plate of vegetables that's not very excited about being there. And they have them having and they weren't in the same picture. They put them together, and those two things together made it.
It's freaking hilarious, though, because the one I saw today, instead of like the Kate Hudson-looking lady pointing and screaming, it was a female white cat looking at the cat and going, "Why was that woman yelling at me?" Or "Why was that woman yelling at you?" And he goes, "I don't even know who she is."
Oh, there's the other one. There's the one where the girl goes, she's pointing over, she goes, "Where's that fucking cat?" And you see these Asian kids smiling.
Yep.
Yeah, that was but there's a whole bunch of different ones like that.
And then there was
it
one
goes
of the
like,
cat.
"Oh, stop destroying things!" And the cat opens his mouth and it shoots a laser beam and starts taking out of a city.
So then the one lady goes through. She points towards where the cat would be, but it's not the cat, and she's like, "Where's the cat?" And it's this like not so gender specific looking, I think, female with glasses making a face, going, "Did you just assume my species?" Instead of like assuming my gender. Yeah, "Where's the cat? Did you just assume my species?"
I just didn't know what it took me years to say with this meme. I said, "What are you referring to? The line or the picture?" It's a picture and the line.
I think it's cool.
It was always my favorite ones are real ones that come from movies and things like that, with Billy Crystal playing Miracle Max in The Princess Bride, where he and Carol Kane, he's like an old wizard.
Oh, that's right.
And they're leaving.
Yeah.
And he goes, goodbye, have fun storming the castle.
Right.
Yeah, that for some reason that just works. That spoke to me and things like that. But why they become popular when there's literally billions of images. If there's how many people on social media? 100 million, 200 million?
Oh, some ridiculous number,
Yeah.
sure.
And every one of them has 50 photos. That's like 50 billion photos.
That's like
and you can't get a photo.
Why does something go viral?
Yeah, why did something go viral?
Who knows?
How does it speak to them? How does it speak to someone, just those two images, not being particularly... there's other people. I've seen people angry images before, but that one, that's like Gone with the Wind. Level kind of... You want to match?
Yes, at that level.
Or
Sure.
Godfather, or something like that. How does it get there? And that's what always escapes me. And the same thing goes for podcasting. We did several good shows. We're doing well. We're doing well, and we're about as well as I expected. I've heard other ones that are great podcast, and no one listens to them. No one listens to them. I don't get it.
Do they do as much debauchery as we do?
Some of them do. Some of them do gratuitously. Maybe they don't have anything to talk about. But, no, they do. They do whatever they do. They do well. I mean, there was one I was listening to. Oh, my God. It was, what is it? It's this British guy, Nichols, I think is the guy's last name. He's a psychiatrist. And he does 10 to 15 minutes once a week or once every 2 weeks, and he has over 200 of them. So he must have been doing it for 10 years. He was doing it when the podcast first started coming out. It's a real upbeat personality. But in the middle of it, he was talking about, okay, this is going to be gross, Jenna, and you're going to have to listen to this because this is going to freak you out and probably ruin your... Don't let it ruin your day.
Okay.
Just wrap your head around this reality, okay? There's a tribe out there. An isolated tribe. I'm not making it... It's not a test question.
It's
or
a what tribe?
a thought. It's a tribe. An isolated tribe.
Isolated, okay.
Okay. And one of the things they used to do, I don't know if they still do it nowadays, but their belief is in order to a young boy to become a man, he has to ingest an ungodly amount of semen. Yes. So yes, I know. It's disturbing. But what this guy said is it's not necessarily the thing that's done, it's what you think about the thing that's done. So he says these guys they've been inside their tribe, they do all this stuff with the kids and stuff, and they're all the guys in the tribe and the normal way of ingesting, right? And the kids grow up and then they're not, and it's just disproof from the people that say your behavior makes you gay because they end up, marrying women and stuff like that and having family. I mean, obviously they have kids and all that stuff. But they're not traumatized by it because it's a tribal ritual.
Okay, so
no one in a tribe looks at it and says this isn't, but I imagine the more they get influenced by people around them, they're going to realize that that's not the cultural norm and stuff like that. But what this psychiatrist said, if you understand it, but the psychiatrist said it's what you think of what happened that traumatizes you, not necessarily the thing that happened. Because you have, let's say, a squad of like 12 guys in combat, and they all could go through the same firefight. They can all fire their rifle just the amount of time. They can kill the same amount of enemies. They could lose the same amount of friends and things like that. And each guy that comes back will be affected differently by it because of what they think about what happened. If murder and the sanctity of life is the most important thing in your life, you could be traumatized in that aspect. Or, if you're just one of these people that are replay things in your head and things like that. So it's a hard concept to wrap your head around. Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, absolutely. So if your entire environment says this is absolutely normal and expected in order to reach the next level.
My father did it. My grandfather did it. His father did it.
This is what we do. It's no different than this is the food we eat. I would imagine. There would be no trauma associated with it.
I spoke about this on another show, but it was called Beyond the Golden Door, and it was about this Amazonian tribe, right? No, it's not a sex thing.
No.
They're going these missionaries in the 60s, I think, or 70s, decide to contact this isolated tribe and try to. What do they call that when they call it the mission? They wanted to.
Like the ministries that.
They wanted to minister to them, reach out to them. They wanted to do the pass the messianic word or something like that. Whatever. They got in a plane and they ended up going up there, going down the Amazon, whatever, and they get in contact with the tribe and everything's fine. And all of a sudden, I think they get a couple, and the guy kills at least two of the missionaries. They were a warlike tribe, and it's had the highest homicide rate. I mean, you think that tribe would not exist, but they call it. I think that they had a word for it. If you ever got the chance to see this documentary, it was amazing because the children of the spouses and the children go back to contact the tribe and the guy that committed the act. And they said it was all the things they did in the tribe. It's like if you were jealous of someone, it was called you sticking them in the side we stick them in the side with a branch. That's stabbing someone or killing somebody. They didn't call it murder. They call it sticking someone in the side. They had a different language for it and things like that, and it was commonplace. And it wasn't seen as if you killed your neighbor or you wanted his wife or you wanted his property or you had a particular whatever. Total legitimate way to handle a conflict would be killing. And what happened is they went in there intensively and they created a new mythology for the tribe. They didn't even try to convert them. They used the ancestral kind of religion, whatever they had. They used their own ancestral religion, and they treated it as if you were walking down a path, and there were two paths, and one path was continuing life as it is, with the sticking in the sides of with the spear, or going down this other path where you decide that we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to respect people, and they taught this, and it converted the whole tribe, not to Christianity, but to this idea that murder isn't essential to their tribal way of life. It's not part of it. And they created a new tradition, So it's kind of interesting when you think of the concept that it's not the act itself, which, because the act is so horrendous considering our society, a child being forced to do that thing, that's pretty horrible, right?
Absolutely.
But they're not being traumatized. Pretty much like the guys in Vietnam during the Vietnam War. They expected them to be heroin addicts when they came out of there. And it turned out, once they left Vietnam, a lot of them didn't give a shit about heroin because they were doing heroin in order to think they weren't in Vietnam anymore. So it changes our concept of reality, what we think about things. So you can see how one small thing happens to a person. Think about the slight that you've gotten for someone. Someone said, well, I don't remember saying that to you. And you take it to heart. That one thing someone says, and we create this whole thing behind it. When anybody does anything. The story I told, I wanted to, about the guy, Robert Borelli. Is that his name? Robert Paul Borelli? This guy brought his own Jenna. He came in. I gave him his bill. He gave me his card. And when I came back with the check, he had his own pen out, and it was a weird looking pen, a skinny felt tip pen. And I go, wow, that's weird. Why? He didn't look like he was a business guy or anything, but he had his own pen. And then when it turned out it was his strategy. So someone wouldn't alter the tip line. And he crossed out I think he must have crossed out the tip line. He didn't leave it blank. Or he may have left it blank. But, that may have been a way of just getting the money back later. Like, so you hope you write it down. It says, oh, this whole thing's fallacious, right? But he left it blank. And so you can point out, you think we're going to alter it? I wonder if he does that. Maybe that's another thing he does. Try to get the whole...
Yeah, that's a whole conversation going on.
Yeah, so that was... I give the guy... a thumb and finger up. One thumb and finger up. So while I'm doing that, it's a thumbs up and a middle finger going to you.
Yeah. Creative, but screw you for not...
Yeah. That would say... Yeah, listen, Lex Luthor, you don't have to be a super genius and use your powers of reasoning to come up with that kind of idea and stuff like that. And he was like I said, he was so nice. I was really surprised.
Nice guy, but evidently there's a lot of conversation going on behind his eyes. What a lunatic. Come on, the guy's nuts.
Well, no, wait. Let's say there's a 4% chance he did all that and forgot to do it, which you don't bring your own fucking pen and forget to sign. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And not leave. He didn't leave any cash or anything. When and like I said, it may sound because this is the second episode I'm talking about. It really bothers me. What really fascinates me is I find interesting is thinking what motivates someone to do anything.
Making
whether
sure
good or bad.
You knew he had his own pen, and making sure you knew he left no tip. I think it was all about him.
But he didn't behave like that.
No,
he's like, is he like Moriarty in Sherlock Holmes?
Well,
he just felt that he just felt that he was better than you.
Had
That's
he
all.
been burned before, and somebody wrote in $100 tip on a $5, food order?
This was $80. This was an $80 order. He didn't leave anything on.
Right, but that's what.
And you go like this, and I'm going, but I don't know why he would have done that. And they come in. These people come in. One guy earlier in the week is someone. I know him. They came in and they didn't leave the total. They were a little off on the total. Left cash. Right? Needless to say, not only was no tip, but I subsidized part of their meal. So when they come in, I'll first I'll lean into them and say, hey, listen, I just want you to know the last time you guys paid, I said, and I checked this and stuff like that. You didn't leave enough for the bill. I said, listen, if you don't want to tip, that's fine. Some people don't have them. And also, that may be an insult. Maybe I'm insulting you, but you know what? If you're going to do that, that's what you're going to hear from me. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to hold it back. But listen, if you don't have the money to tip, I understand. Just pay the bill if you're going out to eat. And that part, you invite them in. It may sound like passive aggressive and stuff like that, but sometimes at the end of the day, you need something like that. Someone to come and get a little mad at what I said to them. I would love that. When you're absolutely in the right, and you say, listen, perhaps, just do the math right, get it right, understand some people don't have money to tip. We got tables here too. You don't have to sit at the bar. And then just invite him and wait for him to say something. He's not that.
Yeah, maybe you should be a consumer and pay your bill.
Yeah. Yeah, just do that. I mean, I understand. I understand.
What if
and if you don't, just tell me.
What if they said,
maybe I go like this.
Well, your prices are too high.
That's not my prices. It's a place that we're in.
An excuse.
Do you at the supermarket? Try to get away with that at the supermarket.
There'll be an excuse.
Okay, someone.
It's Matthew called
someone's screaming on the phone.
Yeah, someone's
Matthew
screaming on the phone, which doesn't really.
And he saw Papa, so
really
he
doesn't get us into the. How long does a bag? How long does a fish last in a bag?
How long does a fish last?
A goldfish lasts in a bag. A bag of water.
Hell if I know.
Yeah? You don't have any idea? I had someone come in to work the other day.
You mean like a goldfish? You buy a goldfish and it's in a bag of water?
Yeah,
Probably not long. I don't know.
Someone said 8 hours. I didn't believe that. 8 hours.
That would seem long to me.
Someone said 8 hours. You walk around with that. I saw it on Seinfeld one time. Elaine's walking in a bag looking for their car, and she heads up, the fish dies in the bag. So,
well, that's
I was telling the people. I was telling the girl. She was a high school. Kathy's daughter, Molly. She wanted to get a fish. I don't know. She's going to college, and I guess they don't live that long anyway. Fish don't, little tiny freshwater fish. So she's buying the stuff for the tank and all that stuff, and she has the fish. And they bring the fish in with them to the restaurant, and they go, "What are you doing? Why? That's why you make a purchase like that. It's like going and getting frozen food. That's the last thing you're going to do, yes. Right? When you're buying frozen food,
you head to the house.
You don't go down here at least. If you're fucking up in Minnesota, you could go right this time of year. You could go. That could be the first thing you do in the beginning of the day. Frozen food, put it in your trunk, and it's going to be cold all day.
Yeah, but if you bought the fish, you'd be frozen too.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the fish.
Yeah, you buy
You're walking around the fish. You buy a fish, you're going straight home.
One would think.
Yeah,
you don't go. You don't go make a couple of errands and go like, oh fuck.
Then you're supposed to set the
they always say that
egg in the tank and let the fish, water temperatures equal out.
Yeah. The way fish experience water, it's like the way humans are when they go outside into space, right? Because the fish, water is that's their environment. This is space for them. There's gravity. There's no buoyancy. There's nothing for them out here.
Unless they're in water.
No, I meant out here they're not in water. I mean the fish that are in the canal I'm pointing out right now.
Yes.
You bring them up 1 foot. Just like 1 foot. Well, it's gradual, and in our atmosphere it's gradual, the transition from...
You mean to tell me that the fish will be gasping to try and get oxygen out of something?
Yeah, and it doesn't
they need
have
water to do it.
That can't manage its its buoyancy. We have no gravity up in space. They can't get themselves right. Think of it. Same thing for a fish. Yeah. Taking a fish out of water is like putting a human right into space. No gravity, something like that. You can't do shit. You're just flopping around until you're dead.
God forbid if the human in space has frozen food with him.
Oh, yeah.
He's in real trouble.
Why? What do you mean? I don't get that one.
He better get home quickly.
No, I think it's cold out there.
I guess it would be.
Yeah, and then some places it's hot. I think they're talking about it. So I don't know. That's what they say, as their orange guy says. Okay, and we're gonna go. We'll just wait. We have 25 minutes. We'll take a pause since Jenna got up. She's juicing herself up again. We're gonna take a little break. We'll be right back.
Whether you're one of our regular visitors to the Florida Keys or you can't wait to visit for the first time, you'll want to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the Florida Keys. To learn all the secrets, tips, and the stuff we don't talk about to anyone but each other, visit 43keys.com. Sign up for our newsletter and never miss any of the exciting things we have planned for you. That's 43 Keys. The number 4, the number 3, keys.com.
We should be talking about Baby Got Back.
Baby Got Back. Yes, we're back. It's funny that we just said we're back. We were talking about
like
musicals. Papa Joe mentioned to Jenna that he can't forget the music from Mamma Mia, and I said I have a problem with contrived things where they take existing music and put it into a story. But if they build a story and then make the music at the same time, it's pretty interesting and stuff like that. But I mean, to each your own what they like. And then we came up with Hamilton, and Hamilton's all in rap. And I was talking to this parent. They're gonna in February. Sky and I are gonna. My daughter and I are gonna go and see the musical. And she goes, "Oh yeah, I went to it and I was so surprised it was all rap." And I go, "What do you think it was going to be, like a Soundtime thing, like West Side Story? Is that something? No, I don't even know. That's probably the.
It's not going to be. It's not your typical MGM, classic.
But none of them are.
Musical.
None of them. When the first musical, when Gilbert and Sullivan started their thing, like the Pirates of Penzance or Mikado, was Mikado there?
I don't know.
Three little girls from...
Yeah, no. I don't know, though.
The geisha thing, or... Well, whatever with that. And you mentioned how Lin-Manuel... something like Noriega. Ortega.
I'll look it up.
Something like that. Oh, my God, I'm so... I'm sorry to any of my Latin audience that I'm screwing up. But he's a fabulous talent. These guys you remember? Did you ever see the movie?
Miranda.
Okay, I got two of the names.
But he's an American composer.
Yeah.
You were like apologizing to your Latin friend.
Well, no,
he's a Latin. He's a Latin. He's a Latin American. He's an American.
Yeah, but
of Latin.
We talked about like when you got the comment like, "Oh, it's in rap," and we both looked at each other. Rap is a wonderful medium to tell a story.
Yeah. Like we said, and then you said the song. What was it?
You can cover a lot of ground.
Baby's Got Back.
You can cover a lot of ground storytelling in rap.
Yeah. The Fresh Prince did the same thing. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that's the whole opening. They don't do any previews. He tells the whole thing. He tells the story.
By the time the credits,
Bel-Air.
Right.
Yeah.
He goes, I got in trouble in Philly, blah, 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 blah.
By the time the credits are done, his whole story got him to where
Philadelphia,
the first scene opens up.
Oh.
On the playground is where I spent most of my days.
Yes.
Cooling out, chilling, relaxing, all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the school when a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and she had me moving with your auntie and your uncle in Bel-Air.
Yeah, that was a good one. Go. Keep it out of... Oh, man.
There's actually a long version with the taxi driver, but then there's a shorter one.
Then there was the Humpty Dance.
That's right.
Originally, it was the Sugar Hill Gang.
Yes.
And rap, when rap first came out, everyone tried to steal it right away. Even Blondie.
Oh, that was horrible.
Blondie did that. She stole some rap, and then other groups. The only Caucasian group that could get away with it was the Beastie Boys, because it kind of made fun because there's three Jewish guys and stuff like that. But these rap guys go, well, every so often there's so many white people. There's going to be three.
Rap guys, girl.
No. There's going to be three. There's going to be some white guys that are good at it. Some of them.
It's from Baby
just like
Got
in
Back.
basketball. No, but just like basketball.
You can't say
there's going to be a
M&M.
couple, just like
You can't say Eminem sucks at rap.
no M&M. There's always going to be
There's always
there's going to be one or two white ones.
No, you
know?
got a good story to tell. If it comes from the heart and rap.
Oh, do you see that movie 3 Mile?
Yes.
8 Mile. 8
Mile, 3 Mile. I was thinking 3 Mile Island.
I mean,
It's a TV version.
I know. 3 Mile.
3 Mile means
3
it's only
Miles
3
where
miles.
when they were rapping at 3 Mile Island at the meltdown at the nuclear power
testing
plant.
facility.
At the testing facility. Yeah.
It's actually just mile markers, by the way. So 8 Mile is 8 miles north of Detroit. That's all it means. That's the exit.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I know. What's it?
So 8 Mile Road is 8 miles.
303?
Yeah, 303. I believe so.
Or 81331? 303? I just remember.
Oh,
if you're down with the 303 or whatever.
No.
But when they do those rap battles and come up and they go, holy shit, it's pretty creative and stuff. I mean, I'm sure they have you got 20 lines out there, maybe 30 lines that you can throw in there, and you think, I can fit this in. I got these words here. Oh, fuck, he used orange. How am I going to rhyme that? There's no fucking rhyme for orange.
No, but you watch those rap battles, and it's pretty spontaneous, and you got to be on your toes, and it takes a high level of intelligence to throw that stuff out and put all that stuff together in a moment's notice.
Hey, funny that you're speaking of that. We got in a discussion the other day with some people about celebrities and how, down in the Keys we run into them every so often, and most of the time you run into a celebrity, and you had a bad experience with some. I had, I just realized there can be a burden to be famous. I don't know what that's like. But why would you want, if you have one interaction mostly with the person you're going to run into, who is a fan? Why would you want to come off, you're an actor, first of all. Why not choose not to be a douchebag? Why would you purposely be a douchebag? And how could you not be aware enough to know that you're being a douchebag? Because you're an actor, you can say, well, your character, unless you only play nice people, maybe you don't know how to play a douchebag. And then you realize, well, this is me. That other person's a real asshole. No, that's the good person you play. That's your acting side. You're like, their douchebag isn't the really good person. I don't get it. What is the when you run into them and they're bitchy? I mean, listen, I'm a nobody. You mean the star? I want the first impression when I want them that I don't want to leave someone with psychic scars. Right? You know what I'm saying? When you leave, you don't want to be like, boy, what an asshole.
Imagine you can't even go outside in your own front yard without buses stopping.
They chose that fucking way of life, Joe.
No,
they dreamt of that. Guys usually, some people say, like Jim Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check, and he put it on this thing. He says, I'm gonna make this money one day. He wrote
and
that.
It gets
but
old.
if he's not a bad guy.
It gets old. Listen, I've met what they, I guess, call the A-listers, the movie stars.
Yeah.
I've run into in the capacity of what I used to do.
Did we talk about this previously?
Many. Yeah, we've mentioned it from time to time. And
why would you choose to be that? Why would your first instinct be? Why wouldn't you say, "Hey, listen, I appreciate it. I don't have the time right now, but thank you very much." And
most
have a
of
great
them,
day.
they finesse it wonderfully.
Yeah.
The seasoned actor and even some of the young ones, they'll all real quick. They'll keep moving. First of all, they won't stop.
Yeah.
They'll keep moving. They'll acknowledge you with a wave. Nice to see you. And you know what? 99% of the time, that's enough.
Yep.
But what I can tell they must hate is, remember, they're followed by lunatics as well. They're hunted, They're followed by lunatics.
I remember the shit that David Letterman had going.
Yes,
and,
look,
I can imagine some of the nutcases.
I have a cousin who has
you're not
several gold albums, all right? So she was,
I don't think you're followed by lunatics.
Yes, you are.
No, wait, hold on, Joe. I just want to say thing. I think there's lunatics out there that attach themselves to certain ideas. and so what you're saying is, I'm putting the cart after the horse. Meaning, they're lunatics already, and they attach themselves to existing celebrity.
Okay.
And they don't become lunatic in their obsession. The lunacy existed prior.
Okay, so call it what you want. I'll just say that they're lunatics. And they could show up at your house. They can show up in your hotel room. They're capable of anything. And, you know, that's scary as shit if you're an actor or an actress or a performer of any kind. And it takes a lot of finesse to sort of dedicate that energy to dealing with that.
Yeah.
And I've met some that are absolutely disgustingly rude. I won't mention any names, Don Johnson.
Don Johnson was an asshole?
Once upon a time, at the height of Miami Vice, I had no use for this guy. I thought he was horrible. I understand now through another mutual friend that not a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's just
misunderstood.
But he was at the height of his stardom in Miami Vice.
Yeah.
And, well, if you were in Miami at the time, everyone was ate up with Miami Vice. Why shouldn't the stars be ate up with their own created persona?
They get a big head about it.
They get a big head.
But
wait. Wasn't that movie Euro Trip? The guy gets stuck in Eastern Europe, and the guy brings his bike seat out, and he goes, "Hey, Americans, you lost." He goes, "Miami Vice, bang bang." I mean, it's because they get their shows 30 years later. He goes like, "Hey, Miami Vice, bang bang." I'm like, holy shit, are you kidding me?
I will tell you this, that I don't think that half of them sign up for what they think it's going to be. And a lot of those people that, you got to
appreciate, you got to be
theater majors and things that they want to make it big, they want to make the real money, they do whatever, but they don't realize that they're sacrificing every ounce of privacy.
I know there was all these people you see in movies, and they're also rang, and then they win an Academy Award. Like they're like always in the supporting role, and then every so often one of them breaks out. There was Cherry Jones, I think that's her name. She was like the sheriff in that Mel Gibson movie, night movie Signs. Remember with the aliens attack his family, and she was the sheriff, and she ended up being getting an Academy Award playing a nun.
And something else.
Yeah. And I swear to God, I mean, I guess, no, she's not big enough now. Who kind of really shot up there when they were older? Like, there's some people that weren't famous when they were young, but when they got older, they got famous. Betty White wasn't. Betty White was always famous, believe it or not.
She was.
She was. And have you ever seen her pictures when she was younger? Holy shit.
She was a hottie.
She was so gorgeous and talented with the singing stuff like that. With that crazy 50s hairdo and stuff like that. You're looking at her and she's like perfection. Just the way she moved her face, the way...
Allison Janney.
Allison Janney
is one that recently got famous by playing Tanya Harding's mom in I, Tanya.
Well, actually, I recognize her from West Wing, and then she was in American Beauty. She played a abused wife. That movie, American Beauty, Kevin Spacey.
But see, I wouldn't have recognized her from that.
Oh no, but she was such a great actress.
So now she's so well known, and she's on a regular show with. I know
she could carry the whole thing. You could in the starring role and stuff. Helen Mirren.
Yeah, Helen Mirren was.
She was a British actress. She was known in Britain.
Yes,
she was known in Britain. Yep. And then when she was 50, 60 years old, it's like the United States. It's Helen Mirren.
She's
going to play Catherine the Great. She's going to do this. She's going to do that.
Helen Mirren is actually Dame Helen Mirren.
She's a dame.
Just like Judi Dench.
Although, yes.
Judi Dench was the same way, too.
But Helen Mirren, I believe it was Helen Mirren, used to live with Liam Neeson back when they were both, like, actors in Britain.
Oh, yeah.
Years
what?
Ago.
They were both in the same movie.
Oh, were they? Maybe that was when they
were in the movie. They were in the movie. They were in the movie.
Years.
It was a sword.
They hooked up.
They did.
Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of hints.
They lived together for
years. It was a sword and a sorcerer movie.
Oh,
classic tale. There you go. Now, Helen Mirren was Morgana.
Yes.
And Liam Neeson was...
the Knight.
I think he was... No, he wasn't Galahad. It was the other one.
He played Arthur's number one. So it was...
No, he wasn't Lancelot.
No, Lancelot was that good-looking guy.
Yeah. He was there, but he had the one there. He was the one. If I read all the Tennyson, but he was a knight that his power was until the sun. He would start fighting in the morning, and the sun got to the height of the sky. It's when he was the strongest, and no one could ever beat him. I know it was a weird thing. They always had these it's all mythology and how we got in there, but we're talking about celebrities and stuff. What's her name? Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle is the biggest one.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, I never knew who she was.
I never knew. She was in soap opera, right? Soap opera star? I mean, unless you know who she is. If she walked into the place, now I know who she is, but now she's a queen, the princess, whose husband's third in line for the throne or something.
Is he third? Yeah, he is third.
Because they're going to skip Charles and go to William, and then so maybe second.
What? Charles? No, they can't skip Charles. Why are they going to skip him?
Queen can.
Well, she can, but technically Charles is in line to the throne.
Well, yeah, they're saying he's still in line, isn't he?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
If there's no plans or something like that, they're saying that they just don't want a divorced person to be there. They still have that thing. That's the thing that got her grand uncle from doing it right. Edward, he was marrying a twice divorced American, Wallace Simpson.
Yep.
Right before World War II.
But here's the thing. Then you can't say that about Harry. Harry then would not be in line at all because Meghan Markle is her second husband. She's been married before.
Oh, she has?
Yes, and she's older than him. She's in her late 30s.
Well, the king wasn't divorced. The king's the prince. He wasn't divorced. That's the one. That's the crossing the Rubicon.
Right, but so
they weren't married in the Church of England. The king wasn't. So the first time they wouldn't have it. This time it's because Diana and Charles were married by the Archbishop of Canterbury. Maybe, I think. Think about it. He's the head. He's the titular head of the Church of England. The highest person in the Church of England.
Yeah, the guy with the funny dress.
It's the monarch, and then it's the cardinal. The monarch is. I think the monarch's the highest one. I could be wrong because that's the reason why Henry VIII separated from the Catholic Church so he can get his own divorces. Well, this is kind of funny, right? Oh, they founded the church so the guy could get a divorce, and he wouldn't let another king become because he was marrying someone who's got divorced.
Brilliant.
Oh, my God.
Let's create a religion.
We thought about it. Let's do it. Oh, God. Okay. We got some theories now. We're going to wind this down, so we got... I got some trivial things to say. Remember a group called the Men Without Hats? Men Without Hats?
But of course.
Their one famous song?
Safety Dance.
It's not this. It's one of the least safe dances in the world. Think about it.
You're going to I'm trying to think of the
if you
video.
went and they started playing it. If you danced in a club,
you're going to hit somebody.
Someone's going to hit you or hit somebody. So it's the safety dance. I mean, if you look at it the way they do, it looks like someone's going in seizure and stuff like that. They're going to throw you in a stretcher and drag you out and give you they may hit you with an AED. You know what I mean? Okay, theory number 2. When someone said to me, may I be blunt? Anytime when someone says, may I be blunt, the thing that's going to follow is going to be some hurtful shit. And it's, may I be blunt? Can I tell you the truth? Or whatever, things like that. Whenever someone says something like that, they're just going to make, it's a mask for saying something that's going to bother you or hurt you.
It's a dig.
Yeah.
It's a segue to a dig.
Yeah, whenever you say that, and say, can I be perfectly clear? Yeah, I know. You're going to say something really dickish right now.
There's another one that I get all the time, and maybe it's just because I'm the only female manager in my company, but I'll get people that walk up to me and they go, I have a question for you. I don't know if you're going to know the answer, but...
Oh, yeah, that's... I
have a question for you. I don't know if you're going to know the answer.
Oh, well, they first established that you're authority. They first established that you were authority, and then they took it back.
Right.
They're going to say, well, I'm going to ask you a question because you look like you might be the authority. But then I said, I'm hedging my bets because you might probably know.
Because I get the passive-aggressive assholeness, and I've earned it. right? So I usually go, well, then why didn't you get out of my office if you don't think I can answer your question? Why are you here?
They,
or
Get
just
out.
answer it for them and say, no.
I bet you I can't answer it. Why don't you leave?
Yeah.
You know.
So with asking for anything
Although
after the fact, like I said, I want to drink, can you make it good? Like, you're that one, can you make it good?
No.
I said, why don't you just tell me?
Make it like shit.
Tell me like this.
Yeah.
When you order a coffee or something, what are we going to say?
shitty
do
coffee.
you know how to make real coffee?
Well, tell me, how do you like
I would
your
love
coffee?
to have a coffee, but I just don't know how you're going to make it. I mean, that's just like rude.
Yeah, don't.
Like,
Oh, it's
what?
passive aggressive too.
Right,
It's
okay.
rude. It's passive aggressive ahead of the thing where you can say, "Hey, can I get a coffee with 3 tablespoons of milk and a half teaspoon of sugar?"
Right.
So we call them OCD assholes and stuff like that. But you know what? It's people that know what they want. And you say, "Well, one thing you didn't tell me. You didn't want to tell me the size of your mug." Because you got to know how many ounces of coffee you want with that stuff. And that's me being the asshole the other way. Go like this. You know, you can't just go and do that because you don't know how large the glass is, right? Teacup.
So I had this really crazy guy come into my office once, and he never. I take appointments. I am by appointment, right? If you're going to come in and do a closing, you have to have an appointment, right? I mean, you're buying a car here, basically. You don't just walk in, and if you're going to walk in, you're going to wait your turn, right? So this
It's
guy,
like a fucking old west. He goes, "I'm going to take that horse. I'll pay you $400 for that horse. Give me that horse. Here's $400. Sign this thing. Tell me this thing. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm out of here."
So I get this guy, this grumpy old guy, who comes in, and I think I've told you this one before, local guy, and comes in, and he wanted to help. Well, I'm here to do my paperwork. I'm like, she's busy, and the receptionist is like, she has 3 closings. She can't take any walk-ins right now. Why don't you come back at 11? She has an opening at 11.
Oh, you told him about this stuff, and the guy comes walking in, he's ready to start flipping out.
He comes back in at 1. Well, I'm in another closing. Well, I told him to come back at 11. I don't have another opening now until 3. Well, I'll just come back tomorrow. Okay, what time are you coming back? You know, she was just trying to get, what time do you want to come back? She needs to have an opening for you, right? So he comes in, and he's huffing and puffing, and he's pissed, and he has to wait. He has to wait through 2 more closings. And he sits there, and I walk out of my office after I'm done with the last one. And mind you, this is now impeding on my lunch break.
Oh, you didn't talk about this on the show.
I did talk about this on the show. I thought I did.
No, but you're not going to talk about it again now.
No. Well, so what I told him was, I said, why don't you come on in?
Yeah.
And he comes and sits in my office, and I shut the door, and he stares down at the floor. Instead of looking at me, he goes, "I'm sorry I made you wait. I'm sorry that I inconvenienced you and wasted so much of your time." And he wasn't looking at me. Mm-hmm. He was like talking to himself.
He was so angry.
So angry.
He was so angry he couldn't look at you and say it.
Yeah. So I looked at him and I said,
when he go, "You fucking made me wait. I have more important things to do."
Right.
No, you don't.
So I looked at him and I
You went here
said,
to buy a boat.
I said, I am by appointment only.
You literally had nothing important to do because you're out to buying a boat. Because if you had something important to do, are you a boat captain? Are you going to save someone's life on an oil platform? No. You have nothing to do, you asshole.
So I just looked at him and I said,
I would have said that. Wouldn't that be great?
I said, "Sir, are you talking to yourself in the third person?"
Yeah, I said, "You're crazy. You should be making time to see a psychiatrist."
So I looked at him and I said, "This is an urgent care. Mm-hmm. I am by appointment only."
Urgent care, they're going to triage you.
Right.
And if you don't have a life-threatening, they're going to take the life-threatening thing first.
So I said,
"You're not life-threatening."
So if you expect me to apologize, I will not. I would ask you that next time you want to see me, that you set a solid appointment.
You should
I said, "No, if you would like me to help you, I'll help you. But if you talk down to me, I will not help you, and you
go
can
like
leave."
this. Rule number 1.
And he just was like,
"Rule number 1.
and wrote me
Jenna,
back and left.
douchebags to the back of the line."
Meh. And hence the big
One
middle
thumbs up.
finger. The
One middle finger.
Middle finger.
Your aggression, thumbs up. Your reaction, middle finger.
Yeah.
Okay, I got this thing. I'm going to try to help some of the guys out there and girls. It may have, I don't think this graph works for the guy. I got this thing I was thinking about. Some lady asked how old.
I could toast
she asked
that.
me, "How old do I think she is?"
Oh, I hate it when people say that.
I know, and I thought, wow. And I do have a thing. I know exactly what I do, and I wrote down my things from 1 to 25. If they appear 1 to 25, guess what you think they are. If she's 7, she's 7. If she's 25, say 25. They don't freak out over that. They don't freak out at that. And if you get it wrong, if someone's 17, they're not going to flip out. You say they're 25. And if someone's way older, it's like, but if they're 25 and you say 24 or something, they don't really care, you know? Now, 25 to 30, it's 4 to 5 years less. So it's 21 to 25. A 30-year-old, you don't want to guess a 30-year-old is a 30-year-old. Never guess a 30-year-old is a 30-year-old.
Right, because they get all butthurt by the fact that they're 30.
You got to push that down to 25.
I was going to say, they want to be 25.
Like that. And because if you go way too young, you're lying and stuff like that. Now, when you get to 30 to 40, now this is the tricky part. There's a tighter window because you really got to bump that 40 down a lot. So it's 27 to 30. 27 to 30. Once it goes to 31, you go down to 27. If you think they're 31, go to 27, 32, 28. Boom, do that. But you don't get past 30 unless the person's way over the 40 part. When it's 40 to 55, just minus 10 years. From whatever. Oh, she looks 42. Say 32. If they're 52, you say 42. And they really appreciate that stuff. 55 to 70, 15. So I know, Jim, you're saying like 1 year later, they're going to be 4 years younger than me. That's fine because they're getting close to 60. You're going to have to throw that in there. When they're over 71 plus, ads for their cards. God, I'm going to have to see your ID. You know, and I'm not saying for bartenders necessarily, for anybody. I'm seeing your ID. I can't tell how old you are. Don't even guess when they're 71 or older. Because some of these things, you can't tell. 100, she could be really a bad-looking 72-year-old.
Right.
Or
she'd be a 35-year-old
like this and go, what, you're 100? What, are you fucking kidding me? You're 100 years old? You look like you're 60. Okay? And warning, if you always answer hi, take additional 5 off from whatever you think you're going to say. Just take 5. If you're always high and the women are pissed at you, just take another 5 off. Just take it. Take it off. Don't even think about it. I was going to, I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be 10 years old. I'm going to 10 years off. She's going to be 45. Make her 40. Make her 40. And be sincere about it. And they'll appreciate it.
Yeah, unless you want the bar stool.
Oh, I wouldn't do it.
Unless you want to sit at the bar stool.
Yep.
Or you have someone coming that you want them sitting next to you at the bar stool, then make them 10 years old.
And if you really want to make them laugh, you go like this. I said, if I really need to tell how old you are, I got to cut you in half and count the rings.
Because you're an old-ass tree.
Yep, that's the one.
See, I have a really bad judge of age because, like, my mother is, she's youthful. She does not look.
She's how old is your mother? 71.
I'm 71. But if you looked at
she looks like she's in her 50s.
You'd probably guess maybe 55, maybe 57, maybe. So it's hard for me because I look and I'm like, I don't know. And my sister doesn't.
I always think when I tell someone my age.
So you're like, I don't.
Jenna, I'm acutely aware when someone is trying to soothe my ego.
But I
go like this, and I'll go something like this, and people go on and say, I wish I remember that and stuff like that, and go, well, so because someone gets a little thing about acting like they're more experienced, I said, hold on a second. Let's get everything, all our ducks in a row. Are you older or younger than I am? Because I'm looking at him and go, well, the guy goes, I'm pretty sure I'm older than you. And I go, I'm 56. And he goes, well, I'm 51. I go, oh. And I'm like, what are you? And you're in this difficult situation where you go, I'm so sorry, man. You're saying, what are you saying? You're so sorry. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like,
right, yeah.
I mean, for fuck's sake, it's age. God damn.
Right. But see, you know what I usually do is to get people off the hook.
We get bent up about age in this society. It's such a youth-driven.
I used to have people call me old man. Some of these guys, I used to work with old man and stuff like that. Old man at the place I used to work. Some of those guys are walking around with canes now. Yeah. They used to call me old man. I go, wait a second, buddy. You can't fucking do that shit and wind up using a cane. You ever want to use a cane?
Yeah.
I don't have the cane.
It's just a number, brother.
I usually just, like if people come into my office, and of course being a local freaking celebrity is part of the pain in the ass too. That's why I don't like to go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
But I usually let them off the hook when they ask about the kids.
because they'll be like, "Oh, you have kids too? Do they go to school here?" I'm like, no, my kids are grown and gone. And then they're like, "Oh, well, you must have started really young." I'm like, not that young. But that way it kind of lets them off the hook because they'll think maybe, especially if they've met my husband, they'll think, "Oh, maybe she's probably 35." Not even close.
Yeah, you definitely pass. Definitely pass for 35.
43.
No, but you definitely pass for 35.
So,
that's an easy pass for 35.
Or younger than 35.
The reason why is because of the shit she says about her kids. Yeah. Come on, don't be ridiculous. That'd be almost like criminal. You go, wait a second. You were
that's it. Game over.
Game over.
You say their kids or something. There was some serious laws broken.
Jenna, don't open your mouth. They'll think you're 32.
Yeah, shut up. Okay.
My fucking mother. Never mind. Yeah. She's 43.
She's 43.
Does your mom have your voice like yours?
No, Mom has a deeper voice.
Okay.
She just cackles a lot.
Speaking of that, your mom.
My mom taught me a toast. Are we time? Or is it time?
We're at almost. We're at 55 minutes, so I think it would be a good time to start.
Time for a toast.
It is time for a toast.
You got your Mexican Coke.
I like
saying Mexican Coke. It's Mexican Coca-Cola, so I can explain that.
This toast
made with real sugar. Okay, yes.
Is for every asshole you've ever met.
Oh boy.
Okay. So.
President company excluded.
President company excluded. Okay, so may your bloody piles infect you. May you grow bunions on your feet. May crabs the size of turtles crawl up your ass to eat. When you're old, decrepit, and a syphilitic wreck, may you fall down through your own asshole and break your motherfucking neck.
Whoa! I toast you from the Keys bartender to all you assholes out there.
May your crabs.
Yeah, and if you're listening,
well.
you should. You know what? There's no assholes listening to this. Those assholes are gone.
I got to tell you, by the time I was trying to memorize the turtle line, I was in tears thinking about these turtles eating your ass. Because it was like just crabs, but crabs the size of turtles. It was pretty awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for the toast, Mom.
And that's from your mom.
This is Mom. She made me memorize this while we were...
Mom crazy.
Yeah, Mom crazy.
Okay, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Well, we'd like to thank you for listening this week. We'll be back next week, and maybe we'll have a... My father sent me a poem.
Okay.
But I'll send that. I'll talk about it
We'll have to do that one next episode.
Yeah, it's not... It's kind of a toast.
All right.
You can do it. You can do this. It should be. You should read this one.
Okay.
You're going to have to read this one because it's the perfect one for you to read.
Awesome.
I'd like to thank Papa Joe.
Until next time.
And Jenna.
Until next time.
This is Jim the Keys bartender. Talk to you next time. Bye.